Spamcan seemed to return to Sodor far too often for his own liking, or anyone else's. On a late winter afternoon, he delivered a goods train from the other rail. He went to rest at the sheds. A chorus of groans sounded upon his arrival.
I am thoroughly bewildered as to why I'm forced under your metals time and again. It's practically magnetism. I suppose it must be nice for your railway to be graced by modernity. I'd say you're lucky I'm here.
We'd be luckier if you weren't. We get on just fine without you around.
Well, that's up for debate. Never mind that I could do double your work in a fraction of the time, but I've brought precious sand to get you through this cold spell. Not that I care for the stuff. We diesels never lose our grip on the rails, but whatever keeps your kettles boiling.
You brought the sand, have you?
Why, yes, sir. Anything to help keep your fine railway running.
And where, pray tell, is it?
Come again, sir?
The sand 199, as you're so certain of its whereabouts. Perhaps you could explain why it's not with the rest of your train. I'll tell you. It seems you kicked up such a fuss about having to come to my fine railway that you've left before the last trucks could be coupled to your train. What do you suppose they contained?
Oh dear.
I would suggest you make yourself comfortable. Due to bridge work, you won't be going home tonight. You can help with the goods traffic tomorrow. At least then, you can be somewhat useful. Good day to you.
I'm worried. Driver says a hard frost is coming tonight, and my sandboxes are rather low.
Modern engines aren't concerned with such trivial matters. Sand indeed. Is this a railway or a playground? Just stand aside and let me handle things, old timer.
The next day, Edward collected his passengers. His driver was right. Frost coated the rails, and he had witnessed the other engine's wheels slipping all morning.
Right. Nice and steady, we'll be all right.
Edward puffed steadily along, dropping sand if he felt he had no grip. Thankfully, the morning sun helped melt the frost.
That's good, that's good.
But the sun was no use in the tunnel.
Come on, come on!
He tried to drop more sand, but his sandboxes were depleted.
Go on, Edward. You're nearly there.
Then there was more trouble.
Nearly there. Oh.
Brilliant, old boy. Well done.
looking a little worse for wear, eh, old iron?
Oh dear, he won't like my smoke in the tunnel.
He didn't.
What's going on? Help! Fire! Fire! To roll high on the garden flames!
He was too startled to notice the frosty rails and heavy train had dragged him to a complete standstill. The guard ran back to the last station. Edward was resting when the guard arrived and asked for help.
I'm sorry, sir, but I've got no sand left. A train like that would be too much for me without it.
That wretched diesel is nothing but bad luck. Is this a railway or a playground? Humph! He's certainly treating it like the latter.
That's it! Gordon, you're brilliant. There's a school near the station and their playground has plenty of sand. I'm sure we could borrow some given the situation.
The driver, fireman, and guard wasted no time. They trudged over to the school, filled buckets with sand, and when they'd returned, Edward's sand boxes were full once more.
Off we go!
All these years of service, only for it to end on this rotten island. It's curtains for me. Tell my fiddle
Made it out of the tunnel in the end.
Oh my. Perhaps I got a bit caught up in all of the excitement.
Well, let's get you moving so the others can get caught up. You've delayed them with all this running on the spot.
Slowly and carefully, Edward pulled Spamcan and the train free of the tunnel. The sand did the trick, and he had no trouble with the icy rails.
Oh, not too shabby for an old iron, wouldn't you say?
Spamcan didn't say. He left later that day, much to the delight of the others. It was strange then, when he returned the following morning with only a few trucks.
Finally brought that sand you steamers were clamoring for.
I say, keeping some for yourself?
Your fat controller says I'm to take it to the schoolyard as repayment. Such work is beneath me.
I'm sure the children will be pleased, and you can use some of it yourself if you slip again. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that beneath you, eh?